Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Myself Janisha from St. Joseph Composite P College, Vijaypur. As a part of bridge course, we have discussed so many concepts regarding the economics, right? So we have discussed about the macro economics, planning commission, and also regarding the factors. Yes, these concepts we have to covered in your bridge course, and this is what your last concept, that is infrastructure. Then now we are going to discuss about the concept of infrastructure. So now we'll start the concept of infrastructure. Then what is infrastructure? So before going to this concept, we need to know about what is infrastructure and how the infrastructure affect on our economy, and how this infrastructure it will support our economic system, and what are important what infrastructures in our countries, and what about other states infrastructure, and the role of infrastructure in our economic development. So these concepts we need to study. So then first we'll discuss what is infrastructure. What is the meaning of infrastructure? See dear students, infrastructure refers to the basic systems and services that a country or organization needs in order to function properly. That means what? Means in order to function what the activities, function the economic activities in proper way. So the country needs a particular or the what organization which requires some of the basic systems and also services. So that is what the infrastructure. Take for example agriculture market. Yes, agriculture market is one of the infrastructure, because market is one of the infrastructure. So what is the use of market and how it is linked with our country? See, in order to run smoothly what the agriculture activities, so we require, or the farmers they require a proper market, right? Or take for example roads. What is the use of a road? So that is connected everywhere, every area of the country or the geographical areas, right? So that roads which is connected to the one individual to another, because to make the trade purpose or to move, yes, or to run the vehicles, so like that. So that this road is one of the infrastructure. So this will helpful to the country as well as the regionally as well as the state, right? So everyone require this infrastructure, so whatever the basic systems as well as services, so that a country or organization needs, okay, in order to smooth run of what country's economic activities or functioning properly. So that country or the organization requires some of the basic systems as well as services. So this is called as infrastructure. Okay, and also this infrastructure, it is the support system of industrial and agricultural production and also foreign and domestic business. See dear students, this infrastructure, it is not only for the maintenance of the activities, but also it helps to support the system of industrial sector, the various sectors, like as you know that industrial sector, agricultural sector, foreign trade, foreign sector, as well as the domestic business. So I said already, for the functioning or the function can run a smooth way, okay, that is on the basis of like industries, agricultures, foreign trade or whatever domestic business, so that we require a proper infrastructure, right? For the agriculture production, definitely we require what type of infrastructure? Market. roads as well as warehouses, right? So these are the important or irrigation. So these are the infrastructures we require for the agriculture production, right? Along with industrial sector. So they require some of the infrastructures again, like roads, right? Power, energy. So these are some infrastructure requires. And also for the foreign trade. So the infrastructures like again the roads, railways, ports. Yes. So these are the infrastructures are required. Yes. So each and every sector require its own infrastructure. Okay. So then what are some of major the infrastructures? So for example, roads, airports, ports, railways, energy, utilities, education, healthcare as well as the social. So these are the major infrastructure. So road is one of the infrastructure, as you know that. Why? Right? Airport, ports, railways, energy, utilities, education, healthcare as well as the social infrastructures. So these are the infrastructure. Thus we can say that infrastructure, it is the basic organizational and physical structure, and that is required to run a business smoothly. Means in order to run a business very smoothly, we require a basic system or the services that is on the basis of organizational and physical structure. Okay, organizational as well as physical structure. That structures will be helpful to the run the business smoothly. Okay, so that we can say that a country's economic and social development is directly dependent on a country's infrastructure. Yes, so a country's economic and social development, economic development as well as a social development. So these two also directly depend upon infrastructure. So a country's economic and social development is directly dependent on a country's infrastructure. So we know that in our country itself, so many infrastructures that should be included in various sectors, right? For example, tourism sector, or we can say that the infrastructure like railways, ports, right? So or postal department. So these are the many or the market infrastructures we can observe, right? So like that only, see the India's states like Kerala, Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra, Gujarat. So many states also they are evergreen with their infrastructure. So then that is contribution to our country like India. Yes, so as you know that in Karnataka we can say that IT field, yes, information technology field, or again it is tourism also, right? So it attracts many of the tourists from the outsides, and then it is also one of the infrastructure as well as it is also one of the income generation to the country. Yes, so that we can say that in this way infrastructure is contribution, it is directly contribution to the economic as well as the social development. And also a good infrastructure makes the work process easier as well as resulting in a positive and high productivity. So that if one of the good infrastructure, so it will increase the productivity as well as its result is also always positive and it make a process very easier. So in this way we can say that infrastructure is one of the contribution to the economic as well as the social growth. Yes, so this is what we can say that infrastructure. Now we'll discuss about the types of infrastructure. There are mainly two types of infrastructure. One is economic infrastructure and second one is social infrastructure. So these are the two types of infrastructure. First one economic infrastructure and another one is social infrastructure. then in detail we'll discuss about this both type of infrastructure. Economic infrastructure. So what is economic infrastructure? Economic infrastructure means those basic facilities and services which directly benefit the process of production and distribution of an economy. This is what economic infrastructure. As you know that, dear students, economic development is one of the contribution to the as you know that what infrastructure it is contribution to the economic development, right? So like that only, then economic infrastructure. So which infrastructures are required for the economic activities? So that economic infrastructure is nothing but it is the what basic facilities and services which directly benefit. Okay, those basic facilities as well as the services which directly benefit the process of production and distribution of an economy. Means for the production of goods and services, or for the production as well as distribution of the economy, for that which are the facilities as well as services are directly acted, so that is called as economic infrastructure. So those economic infrastructures are energy, transport, communication, irrigation. Yes, so energy, transport, communication and irrigation. So these are the economic infrastructures which provide its services, that is for the production as well as the distribution of the goods and services. Say take for example energy, that is required for the production of goods and services, for operating the machines and all. Transport means is nothing but whatever the goods and services which produced, so that goods we need to supply also, that we need to transport also. So that transportation is also one of the economic infrastructure. And also communication, IT field as you know that, and irrigation. So these are the infrastructure which generating the what economic activities. And also we can say that economic infrastructures which is directly support the economic growth, right? So that we can say that economic infrastructure which includes the basic amenities and services and that directly influence and benefit the production process of economic distribution. So this is what the economic infrastructure. Now second type of infrastructure, that is social infrastructure, we'll discuss. Social infrastructure. Then what is this social infrastructure? Social infrastructure is the combination of basic facilities which are necessary for human development. That means those infrastructure which is necessary for the human development, so that is called as social infrastructure. Okay, so those infrastructure or those basic facilities and services which are necessary for what? For why? That is for the human development, that is called social infrastructure. Then which are the social infrastructure which is necessary for the human development? That is education, health, housing, sanitation and water supply. So these are called as social infrastructure. So these are the components of a social infrastructure, which are that education. Education is essential for the human development. As you know that health, that is also very essential for the human development, because health as well as education which will create the human capital. Right? So the human capital directly, definitely they'll contribution to the economy. So that we can say that that is human capital is also one of the infrastructure. Okay, as well as housing for the purpose of shelter, as well as sanitation and water supply. So these are the social infrastructure. So totally we can say that social infrastructure is nothing but those infrastructure which helps to develop the human, which helps to the those basic facilities which are required for the development of human. So that is what social infrastructure is. And also like that economic infrastructure, social infrastructure also supports directly the social growth in the economy. So this is what social infrastructure. And also it has basic services that improve individual productivity and achieve the social objectives. So this is social infrastructure. In this way we can classify two types of infrastructure. One is economic infrastructure, another one is a social infrastructure. So in the economic infrastructure, as we know that those components which includes energy, transport, communication, yes, communication, etc. And also under the social infrastructure we can say that education, health, sanitation, water supply, housing. So these are the components or the elements which include in the social infrastructure. Now we'll discuss about the role of infrastructure in the development of a country. So role of infrastructure in development. See, as you know that, so why we require development? Because development is nothing but what? A completedness. So if it is everything is developed, then there is no problem in the country. There is no problem in the economy. Right? So that infrastructure also played a major role in the development. So then what are those, what importance or the role of infrastructure? First one, contribution to national income. Second one, employment generation. Third one, urbanization. Fourth one, attract FDI, means foreign direct investment. Fifth one, capital formation. Sixth one, rural development. Then one by one we'll discuss what are the role of infrastructure. First one, contribution to national income. Dear students, what is national income? National income is nothing but what? That is country's income. How it will create it? That is the total volume of goods and services produced in a country during a period of time. So that is what the national income. Yes. So if it is a good national income, then country's welfare also possible. Economic welfare also possible. If the national income is low or the GDP is low, then country's welfare is also low. So that a country's development mainly depending upon the national income. Yes. So that this infrastructure is contribution to national income. How? See, I said already there are various sectors in the economy. Yes, industrial sector, agriculture sector, tourism, then we can say that market, transport, yes, railways, ports. So many sectors are there. So each and every sector played their own role, that is in the process of development. Say for example, railway sector or railway department. Yes, so that railway department, so they will earn or those sector will earn income, and those income is contribution to the national income also. Yes, or take for example tourism. I said already, so many countries, so many states, they are attract many tourists or foreign tourists. As a result, those states will earn what? That is income, and it is also the contribution to the national income. So that all the infrastructure including agriculture also, that is directly contribution to the national income. And second one, employment generation. Infrastructure which generates the employment, many employment opportunities. How can you say that? That is by the way of what? Creating the new employments. For example, agriculture only. See, every infrastructure or every sectors, they can generate their own employment opportunities. Yes, See, for example, agriculture only I said already. In the agriculture sectors, we can observe so many opportunities. Or in the industrial sector. Industrial sector also, each and every sector, what the employment opportunities will be created, and as a result, so this again it is contribution to the national income. Third one is urbanization. So urbanization which creates its own infrastructures, because we can, urban means what, the cities, yes. So in cities only we can say that so many opportunities will be created, and also so many infrastructures will be created, and it is contribution to the development, because because due to the urbanization, there are number of industrial sectors will be expanded, extended, it is right. So as a result, again it will create more opportunities, and this is contribution to the development. And fourth one, attract FDI, means foreign direct investment. So infrastructures, it directly attract the foreign direct investment, because infrastructures facilitates so many services, basic systems to the that is investors, right. For example, we can say that IT field, communication, yes, transportation, or banking system. So these infrastructures or these basic facilities, so what highly influence the foreign direct investment. And next one, capital formation. Definitely infrastructures can be formulate the capital. So as you know, that means the savings of the people also increases. Capital formation which helps to the country's economy, because if it is good capital formation, then countries or the economy's savings also can be increases, investment may be increases. So that capital formation also directly contribute to the development of a country. And last one, rural development. As you know that due to basic systems of infrastructure, for example irrigation, okay, or take for example roads, connected roads, yes, from rural to urban, or we can say that ports or railways. So in this way, or the electricity, generation of power, healthcare facilities, education sector, yes, housing. So like that, so many infrastructures, it automatically develop the rural areas, and this rural development is also directly contribution to the development. So in this way we can say that infrastructure, what the role of infrastructure is very essential, that is for the development of a nation. Okay students, so this is what the role of infrastructure. So in this way we have learned this infrastructure concepts, that is types of infrastructure, and also you came to know about now the what is the role or the importance of infrastructure in the development of a country. Okay, so this is regarding the concept of infrastructure. Thank you.